Future Adam here editing this video. If you guys just clicked on this video, literally you just see my product criteria checklist. I'm going to give it to you guys real quickly because while there will be a lot of you guys that want to watch 16 minutes of a full in-depth breakdown of how I actually find 1 in a million products, some of you guys just want a criteria checklist. So this is my very unique product criteria checklist before the video actually starts. Number 1 is visually appealing. I'm a huge graphic designing guy, and if it doesn't look good, I can't sell it. If it's not visually appealing, I cannot sell it. It has to look very nice, easy to generate, because my whole thing is making designer quality stores. It's what I do. If you're in my coaching program, you know that you know a few of my stores, and you know that they're very nice looking, very designer, and I charge a lot for the product. Number 1 is visually appealing. I have to be able to work with it. Number 2 is, and this is something that makes this video so different, something that has never been sold before, which is very unique. And if you take the time to watch the 15 minutes, you'll see kind of what I mean here on how I find that. But finding a product that is in a completely unaware market, and then finding a indirectly similar product that has never been sold. That is what I do. Mostly everything that I sell has never been sold by a dropshipper, literally ever. And then I perpetuate it with static ads, and I only sell products that have completely unaware audiences. I like educating. Then I'm gonna drop some boring ones here. It obviously has to solve a problem. Has to have 3+ powerful angles, because the way that I test ads, CBO 3 ad sets 3 angles. It's just what I do. Needs to have at least 3 angles. And then if I cannot get a 1.2 to 1.3 break-even ROAS after all cost of goods, I don't want to sell it. Like I said, I charge a lot for what I'm selling. It is very easy to succeed if your break-even ROAS is extremely low. But if you don't check off number 1, if it's not visually appealing, then you can't charge a lot for it. If you can't charge a lot for it, it's hard to get a 1.2 to 1.3 break-even ROAS, so you're just screwed. So this list kind of works hand in hand. It's extremely difficult to find products like this. That's what this video is for. But if you just want my checklist, here you go. I was having a conversation the other day with somebody trying my absolute best to verbalize how I find the products that I do. I find products in extremely unorthodox ways, and my hit rate is extremely high. For example, this entire year, it's been 23 days, I've tested one singular product, yet I'm scaling it as we speak. I showed some of the metrics of the test last video. You can go watch it. It is in the pet niche. But in this video, I have kind of decided to do my absolute best to break down the way that I validate products, because it is very different from the way everybody else does it. And I challenge you to do it this exact way and see what you can find. Now, this is not something quick. This does take a little bit of time. It really does. It took me like a week to decide to actually sell this product, but that's kind of the point. It is very low volume, high hit rate. If that's not your thing, that's not your thing. From now on, what I challenge you to do is, instead of just going straight into product research whenever you want to sell something new, start with niche research. This is all I ever do. I do not pick a product or even begin looking for a product until I understand what niche I want to sell in. Because after all, everything you sell gets bucketed into some sort of niche. It just helps you direction-wise if you understand what niche you want to sell in. And there is no niche research strategy out there that I'm aware of. It's just kind of, what do you want to sell in? What's your thing? What do you enjoy? And if you don't know what you enjoy, pros and cons and understanding the caveats and pros to each niche can help a lot. So I made this little list here of my favorite niches plus an honorable mention. So pets, one of my all-time favorites. The pros is very low CPM buckets, very passionate buyers, high buying power. They'll spend a lot of money. Cons is a very populated market, which means it requires a very, very unique idea to succeed. You can't just be like everybody else. Babies, read above, same exact thing. Babies and pets are extremely congruent. Tech, this is the honorable mention. This is not one of my favorites. Do not sell in tech. Very high return rate, very high failure rate, but one of the lowest CPM buckets. Fun fact, I guess that's technically a pro. You get very low CPMs in tech, but things break a lot if you don't have a proper manufacturer. And a lot of times your manufacturers do not care about you if you're not paying them a lot of money, and you're probably not because you just started drop shipping this. So I don't suggest you do that. Supplements, everybody's favorite. Pros, opportunity to create a brand is very high. The personability of labels and whatnot makes it very easy to come across as this super awesome company that's been around forever, especially if you're graphically inclined. It's one of the most popular and lucrative markets for buyers. People want to buy supplements People are actively looking for supplements. It's one of the only niches where they can have one of your competitors' products and still buy yours just because they want to see if yours is better. But cons, high CPM buckets, very high CPM buckets offer it, but it's completely normal for that to happen. And the only way to really get around it is just by spending your way through it, just brute forcing spend through it. Increased legal risk, don't let this scare you. It's not a big deal. It's just, yes, people are ingesting stuff you're selling, so there is increased risk there a little bit. Super high competition, which means there's no new ideas anymore. The awareness stage of supplements is most aware. Everybody's most aware of everything. There is no new ideas. It's all completely cooked. The only way to succeed is by taking an existing idea and spinning it into a brand new angle or niche demographic, giving it some sort of unique mechanism. Like, yeah, I know you've tried magnesium before, but our magnesium is different in this way. You can't come across as, hey, ever heard of magnesium? It does this, 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 and this, because they have. Everybody already has. So that's one of the biggest cons. But these are my top 3 niches. I'm not going to count tech because I don't like it, but pets, babies, and supplements, I always go for these 3. So I challenge you, before you begin looking for a product, pick a niche. Just pick a niche. It'll give you some place to start, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, the next few steps are going to be a combination of cross-referencing different websites, understanding the different stages of market awareness, understanding which stage you want to be involved in, the pros and cons of each, and understanding how to spy on competitors and find average ballpark cost of goods. So let's say I decide I want to sell to pets. Okay? I know this sounds so silly and so simple, but the point is not that it's simple. The point is that nobody else is telling you to do this, and nobody else is doing this. A lot of people overlook the simple things, when in reality, the simple things a lot of the times are going to give you these good ideas. I'm telling you firsthand, this has worked for me. So start extremely simple. I like TikTok Shop. I don't use spy tools. TikTok Shop is cool. I can see average units sold. I can see affiliate videos. Okay, I want to sell in the pet niche. Watch this magic. Pets. Click search. Now you're just given all these products, okay? And this is, truthfully, this is going to be the most important part of the video, okay? This is what people struggle with a lot. This is where you're going to let your imagination take over. This is where you're going to detach yourself from Calidata. This is where you're going to detach yourself from the mindset that you are a beginner, therefore you cannot find something good, and you are just going to let your imagination take over. Let your creativity take over. Look through these products and find something that interests you. Now, a lot of the times, you're not going to sell any of these because, yes, looking up pets and then deciding on a random product in a catalog is a little bit too easy. It's going to get complicated, don't worry, but for now, please be unique, be yourself, and check out the catalog. See what interests you, and also use your previous knowledge in Ecom, even if it's like only a month, to rule out products you've already seen all over the place. So like this, for example, I just know this has been around forever. I'm not going to sell it, right? Keep scrolling and then find something that interests you. Fun fact, if you keep scrolling and you notice that it starts to get a bit unrelated, you can actually also do this on AliExpress. You can literally go in here and type in pets and it will do the same exact thing. It'll be the simplest pet products. You can filter by orders as well, and it'll literally just find something that interests you. Now keep in mind this process is going to take probably a few hours to a few days, but just for the sake of time and so I could continue with the example, let's go ahead and just pick something. So this ball right here. Pretty cool. I'm going to show you can pretty much pick anything and make it work out. So this ball right here. Now step 1 was to pick a niche, and our niche was pets. And that was just by going through a pros and cons list of, okay, what niche do we think would be fun? What niche suits us best? Step 2, still not finding a product, it's finding a sub niche. And that's what we're currently doing. That's what this is. We're not looking for a product. We're not just typing in pets in a TikTok shop and trying to find something to sell. We're looking for a sub niche. So this, for example, let's say we wanted to sell this just general idea. Maybe not this exact ball, because a lot of the times what's going to happen is this is not going to be available on AliExpress. I believe this one actually is, like it's just right here. But a lot of the times it will not be available. So our sub niche is going to be an interactive dog toy. If you go to the pets tab on AliExpress and sort by orders, while we're not going to sell the most popular pet product on AliExpress, it's not a very good idea, we can see a lot of the top ranking ones are these interactive toys. I mean, they're all over the place. So there must be something going on here. Okay, that is our sub niche. We've now established our niche is pets and our sub niche is interactive dog toys. Cool, right? So I challenge you, before you find a product, determine a niche and a sub niche. Now we're going to look for the actual product, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated. All right, so now we've established our sub niche. Our niche is pets, our sub niche is interactive dog toys, but we want to avoid selling all these top ones. And let me explain to you why. Cue this image right here. This is a very simple marketing funnel, but you need to understand what it is and what it means, because this can genuinely make you more money than you know what to do with. This is a funnel. This is the funnel a normal person falls down before they buy a product. It starts with awareness. They're aware of the product, they see it for the first time. Then they consider it. They might buy it, they might not. Then they purchase, inevitably. And then comes loyalty, advocacy. I just want you to focus on the top 3 for now. A lot of you guys are trying to hit yellow customers with green tactics, and that's never going to work. A lot of you guys selling Calidata rips are selling products that are already kind of middle right here, and you're picking off the low-hanging fruit. That's why it's working for you, and that's also why it can't last very long, because you're not doing it the proper way. You're kind of coming in on the edge here and taking advantage of the awareness and consideration that your competitors have built up, and that's why I dislike Calidata, but that's a conversation for another time. So be aware that in order to sell a product that is going to do well most of the time, that will inevitably turn into a long-term brain, you need to start at the top. You can't sell a product that is already kind of down here. It's too competitive, and it might work out short term, but if you want something that'll work out long term, start at the very top. You need a product that still needs awareness built. And of course, in order to, if you ask how to walk people down this funnel, I have videos on that as well. You can go watch my static ad videos. If there's one thing I'm very good at, it is building a funnel around static ads. But let's just focus on this for now. You need to sell a product where nobody's even in the funnel yet. Hot take. People will tell you, try to sell something that already has some people familiar with it who are already considering. No. Everything I sell, everybody's out of the funnel. It is my job to put them in the funnel. And it's a little more difficult, but I promise you the longevity is so much better. It is so much better, and you will find that the products you're selling that die out within a month, you'll never have another one ever again. Because you build this funnel. When you're the one that builds the funnel, it never dies out for you. That's why when you sell a product and it does well, then it dies out, you go look at your competitor and he's still pumping. It's because he created the funnel. You just took advantage of some of his customers for a little bit. So this funnel, you need to sell a product that has nobody in this funnel yet. That's why selling this would be bad. With 50,000 units sold, it's very likely a lot of pet owners, a lot of avid pet owners have already been advertised this product before. No, unless you're selling in supplements, you need to come off as something brand new. This is where the research kind of begins. So a lot of people will tell you to find competitors once you find the product, to then take inspiration from whatever. What if you were to find competitors within your sub niche and use their ideas to potentially pick a product? What if you were to find competitors beforehand? Let's do that. When people ask me, Adam, how do you find competitors? How do you do it? What's the magic tool? Trust me, guys, the reason that you're inefficient is because you're not thinking simple enough. Google. For all competitor research in this video, we're going to be using TrendTrack. You guys have probably heard of TrendTrack before, but in case you haven't, it is one of the best spy softwares on the internet. Here's a quick example of how the extension works. You can go to a site like Rise, click your extension up here, just a Chrome extension, then you click it, and boom, see site traffic, the traffic share, all their social media channels, all of their ads. You can just go to the ad library and see every single ad that they are running, which is pretty neat. And then if you have an account with them, you can create a brand tracker page, which essentially lets you make a list of brands that you are keeping an eye on. So this is where you put your competitors, direct or indirect. If you guys want to use TrendTrack, click one of the first links in the description. Go on to Google and type in some keywords or just the name of the product that you're identifying your sub niche with. So example, in our case, be interactive dog ball right here. Okay, we have all these that pop up. Now, you probably know that this is Google sponsored products. People are paying to get up here. The people who are winning the auction are the people who are up front most of the time. So it is best practice to just open a few of these, and we're gonna get a few sites open here. Not gonna open like Walmart or PetSmart or Target. We wanna find one product stores or something close to that. All right, these are top ranking Google searches, so they must be half decent. Now we're gonna use TrendTrack, the free TrendTrack extension up here, to determine the traffic on all these sites. So first we have Wicked Ball. Check that out. September 29,000, October 45, November 60,000. So they're growing. They wouldn't be growing if they weren't making money. Okay, that is a little bit of validation. That helps a little bit. You can also see all their social channels, the theme that they're using, when they created their store, all of their ads. We can actually go to their ad library here and see exactly which ads they're running if we decide to sell a product like this, to kind of understand how to advertise. And we're literally just going to repeat this for every single other site. So TrendTrack, all right, this store, complete bust, no traffic, Not good. All right, cool. Next. Exit out of here. All right, cool. So they're growing pretty heavily. They grew 800% from September to October, then 20% October to November. That's very good. Okay, cool. Countries in the US, they're using the taste theme created July of last year, and it looks like they're not even selling on Meta. That's a market gap. All right, and the last one right here, again, absolutely nothing. Cool. So we can properly say that when it comes to Meta, this is a pretty low competition product, which is cool. But this is where things get a little bit controversial. Let's assume I want to sell this. Okay, cool. Competitors are there. Now it's time to find the actual product. But here's where I do things a little bit different from everybody else. And this is the part that might be a little bit uncomfortable to you, but it's the way that I do things. It's the way that I've always done things. Let's say that I decide to sell a product in this sub-niche. I want to sell an interactive dog toy. Here's the things get a little bit crazy. The way that I do things, I do not like selling the exact same product as every other competitor, especially in a niche like an interactive dog ball. When it comes to a niche like that, I've found that it's best practice to sell one of the billion other options that look a little bit different, and maybe even find one that looks a little bit better. If you watch my other videos, you know that I primarily use static ads when it comes to making creatives. I don't use videos. I don't rely on content filmed by other people. I'm very, very, very good at static ads. Therefore, I can sell just about anything that can be sourced, and I'm not afraid to. Because like I said, we want to approach products that are at the top of that funnel, still in the awareness stage. And that means I could sell anything that I want, which is pretty nice. This is where this strategy, I guess you could call it, kind of excels. So you go through here and you'd find a product that you maybe don't see too much of, if at all. So you'd scroll through, and let's say you find, I'm just gonna scroll through for a little bit. They all kind of look like this. We want something that's interactive. So this one's something new. This is for cats though, which is not a bad idea, but you can keep scrolling. All right, here we go. This looks pretty good, 2,000 sold. And this looks different. This is literally all that we wanted. We wanted the same product that solved the same exact issue, I guess you could call it. Again, this is a very surface level example. I have other videos going more in depth on how to identify market awareness, how to do direct response marketing. This matters, and this product might not be the best for that, so keep that in mind. But I'm just giving you guys an example of finding something that's already selling decently well but is still on the unaware stage, and then finding a brand new concept of that exact product. So this does the same thing, but it just looks different. It's just a differentiator, and it looks a bit better than the competitors as well. And it's very easy to generate this with AI. It's just a very simple geometrical shape. And overall, this is the perfect example of taking a product that's in that unaware stage and then coming up with a brand new concept and coming into the market with that. It's perfect. This is what I do. This is what I've done for the past 3-4 years of my life, and it's worked out very, very well for me. Now, keep in mind that this is only half the battle. This is literally just how to go about finding those products that fit at the top of the funnel while also having some sort of new concept that you can then use static ads to turn into something that renders awareness. But there's still a whole nother level to this. There's still a whole nother level of understanding direct response marketing, not just selling interactive dog toys. I'm not saying this is a winner by any means. I'm just walking you down the process of how to come across and validate something like this. So one thing that I can promise you in all fairness is that if you walk yourself down this process and you find products like this consistently, like maybe 5 or 10 a week, and then every week or two you settle upon 1 or 2 and actually take time to build out a direct response marketing plan for it, you have a very high chance of something at least breaking even if you're new, at least something doing okay. You're not gonna have any more flops. So I seriously challenge you to try this, because it's worked out very, very well for me for the past few years. And it's gonna feel new, it's gonna feel a little bit scary, it's gonna feel wrong, like uncomfortable. Like this is not the way you should be doing things because everybody else has told you different. So seriously, try this. Cross-reference this video with my static ad videos, how to walk people down a funnel properly, how to use direct response copywriting properly, and I promise you, you will see some degree of progress. I can promise you that.